welcome to an edition with Mark and Melody here, not in the kitchen, but at the desk. And Mark, was you reading last night before bedtime?
Oh, my brain is just being filled like a sponge with all this information.
You know what? I don't know of a book you have there that isn't a good book. These are amazing. This is people will want to know where we get our information.
I just grabbed a handful.
I know.
I got another stack.
Well, I have how many of them do I have in my room?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that would triple.
I mean, this is what we do. Where I have what I call my desk. It's a big chair with an ottoman in my room, and it is just piled high on both sides with books. And every night I read a little bit of each of them, and I mark them. And sometimes Mark and I will switch books, and or he'll look at mine where mine's been highlighted, and I look at his where his has been highlighted, because we both know that that's the information that we're most likely to use the most.
That happens quite a bit.
It does.
Goodbye Diabetes.
Yes, by Dr. Wes Youngberg.
And I did an event at her, I think it was her daughter's place a while back. Dr. McDougall. The Low Carb Fraud by T. Colin Campbell.
This is a recently released book where Dr. Campbell expounds on the myths of a low-carb diet.
Yeah, he wrote the China study.
He did.
Which is a 1 million copy
And we have it. It's not in this.
I don't even have that one here. Yeah, I think that one's upstairs.
It probably is. And you know what? This book is amazing. And it's not just his idea. It's what he has found through many years of research. Scientific evidence, and he has all the facts. I love that. You go to the back and you start
source after source after source. That's the first place I go to a lot of times when I'm looking at books. I want to see where their sources are, where they're coming from, and things like that.
Yes.
Move Over Milk.
Move Over Milk. Now this is by
Vicki
Griffin, and
she's got a new one though. She's got a new version of it, I think.
There's a foreword in this by T. Colin Campbell.
Yeah.
Great book. It talks a lot about milk.
Food over medicine. I haven't read this one. I just got it.
I was going to say I haven't either. So
I've seen it out there for a while, and
maybe
finally
I'll stick it under the pile, because if he doesn't see it, then I'll get to read it first.
Low Carb Myth.
Love it.
I'm halfway through that one.
You really look at the writing in here, Mark, that you've done.
So another one I just got the other day, The Gluten Lie. And other myths about what you eat. And so I just got that.
You haven't read this one
It's
either?
not on our must-read list until after we read it. Then we put it on our recommendation. So The Starch Solution, which, by the way, I just bought this. You cannot put your hands on it.
I can't touch it?
Well, because I just bought this one and it keeps disappearing.
Because this one is mine.
Yeah,
now.
I got the Starch Solution on the iPad.
Yes.
And but I want it for the cooking program, so I bought the Starch Solution to take with my cooking programs, on the road, and it keeps disappearing. So I said, "That's it. I'm buying a hardcover. You are not getting this
maybe
one."
I need to go through all of his books and find one I don't have, and they disappear, and then I'll just keep them, and you buy more.
Yeah, there you go.
Works for me.
Hey, as long as somebody's reading it, it's.
Now have you started this one yet? How Not to Die?
No, I just skimmed through it. I've got a couple note marks, but
Sure.
That's a brand new one. Just came out, 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So that's a good one. Now this is one I'm not impressed with. Excitotoxins. It's just a cherry picking book, but and we look at the books and find the mistakes too. So and it's got a lot of good information, but then it's like truth mingled with error. So and so that's why we do the homework, because some things are just so messed up out there, or sometimes they don't know any better, and then new information comes out. Because sometimes somebody will write a book, it's great information, and then a couple years later they find out, like excitotoxins. Some of them are actually excitonutrients that keep brain cells circulating. So they're but they didn't know that till years later. So, but
MSG is one that we all know we don't want, but this looks like a good book. I haven't read it, by David Kessler, MD. The End of Overeating.
But how come Asians have no problems with MSG? They eat it in everything, and there's no scientific changes like Americans and different cultures. It's kind of weird.
I know it is. I have a friend whose daughter, if she gets anything with MSG, she just goes crazy, almost like she's had alcohol.
Just shows you everybody's body is a little
body
different.
Chemistry.
Right.
I've read a few things here by Dr. Is it Wheel?
Yeah, Andrew
Wheel.
Wheel, MD. He's got some pretty good information, and this one's got some cooking things in
Oh,
it.
that's nice.
The 30-day diabetes miracle.
Now, who wrote that one, Mark?
I don't know. I just got this one. I just wanted to another new book that I'm going to read through and kind of see. But it looks like it's all plant strong, so I think they're on the right step there. And then a guide to alternative medicine, another one. And there's a couple others like this that you have, don't you?
I have the big encyclopedia that I absolutely love, Mark. It is, to me, there's two books that I recommend, and it's the Bible and that
Well, I have
encyclopedia.
that right here.
Right. But those are my two
my,
books, and a lot of times in my seminars...
You're talking the actual Bible?
I'm talking the Bible.
Oh, okay, because yeah, I have that.
I travel nowhere without my Bible. It's my protection and my sword. I think
mine's a little worn out.
Well, and that's great. That's great. I love that. My Bible looks pretty bad too. But when I get down to my last book, I won't even let it go because my Natural Remedy Encyclopedia.
Natural Remedy Encyclopedia.
It's actually Family Health Guide. And it has recipes in it. It has natural alternatives to everything.
I don't have that available on the website. We should put that on there.
We should.
Yeah, we really should.
And it comes in Spanish and English. And I'm going to tell you right now, that book is a must in your home. I can't imagine not having that. I gave one to each one of my family members. My children use it with their babies. They say, Mom, this thing is, they have great insurance and everything, but they would rather go to something simple and healthier. And
yeah, because see, we don't put our other people's books on our website for sale. We just do our own books, and but that's a particular book because a lot of times you can get these cheap on Amazon. Go to any place and you can get them for that's where we get them. And why would we jack up the price and sell it to you? I just don't believe in doing that. If you can find it cheaper somewhere else, we're going to tell you about it. But that's a particular book that you can't find in places.
No, you can't find it, and so that is a book that I absolutely love. It's been. I've gone to it time after time after time. I've got a little story to tell you when we come back, but I think we have to go into the kitchen,
let's do some cooking.
So let's do some cooking, some healthy cooking for you.
Be right back.
I'm like that girl on Friend. Can't dance.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't know how to dance. So.
That's very true. Yeah.
She's crazy. Remember her?
No.
Okay, let's get
I know
started.
from Seinfeld.
That's it.
Elaine.
Yeah, Elaine. She can't dance a lick.
You were saying Friends. I was like,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV. I'm too hyper. I can't sit and watch TV.
You really can't.
No, I can't.
But you can cook.
I love to cook.
Okay.
And when I'm really tense or I feel like I need to do something, I head to the kitchen.
So what are you cooking today?
We're going to do garbanzo slow cook stew.
So,
slow cooker or crock pot, whatever you have.
Right. So it's a garbanzo stew, something you can throw everything in there. And...
Dump it in. And
okay.
Okay. I like onions.
So this is like a no-brainer for everybody. But for those of you out there that need no-brainer type of food, we've got it for you.
We really
Actually,
do.
we make the food no-brainer for everybody.
We do.
We make it so easy. So you've got onions and carrots.
Celery.
And celery.
Now, what is this called in French?
That's your mirepoix.
Your mirepoix, yes. Oh, I like lots of celery in mine, too. I'm going to use all of the celery.
So this all is based on how big your crock pot is.
Yep.
For that type of thing.
It is.
And this one's just a little over a gallon. Ooh! Ah-ha-ha!
I don't want oil.
Did you see what she just did? She actually dumped the juice from the olives in there. All right. You want the olives too?
I do. You want to cut them up for me?
I can do that. Sure.
All right.
How many you want? All of them?
Are you kidding?
It's not a lot.
Are you kidding? I want all those olives.
What type of chop would you like?
Whatever you can give me.
Okay. Wow, that's really filling up.
Yep.
What do you think? Something like that?
That's good.
Okay.
And then if you'll grab the watermark.
Okay.
Watermark. Is there the watermark?
You grab the watermark, yeah. I don't have a watermark here.
Yeah.
But
All right.
I have water.
You can start pouring.
Okay, well you put what did you just sneak in there? That yellow stuff?
That's McKay's chicken
style seasoning. See, she'll come up here and she's so used to just boom, 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 boom. And you're all sitting in our home saying, what did she put in there? I do that here, so I know you're doing it at home. All right. You got some
And you're thinking, olives, Melody? Olives? I like those Lindsay natural olives.
I think we're going to have to stop right here.
That's good. That's right where I want it to.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
my.
That's easy. It is so easy to cook in the
Once
kitchen.
the carrots and the onions and the celery starts to get transparent, that's going to dissipate a little bit. Close the lid.
So what are we going to do?
I'm going to turn it on. I want this a little high, so I'm going to put on about 225, which would be high temperature. And then I'm going to set my time for about 2 hours, Mark, and I'm going to let this cook. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to kind of check on it here and there. And at the end, I'm going to add a little secret ingredient. That's it.
Okay, which 225 would be on high for a
High.
regular crock pot. And how long? What's the time on that?
2 hours.
2 hours.
About 2 hours.
So I'm thinking if somebody wanted to do this at home, because they're going off to work, they'd come back. It'd be
I'd probably
cooled down.
start at about 150, maybe 100, 150.
So if they're going to go for a long day, then just put it on medium.
Yeah, just put it.
But we're
put
going to
your
knock it
temperature
out.
down. We're
So
gonna
you can do
knock
it either way. And okay, so let's let that go, and then we'll come back and
check on it.
do your thing, whatever it
I'm
is.
going to do my thing.
All right. All right. I think my soup is ready.
This is my slurry, Mark.
I have my soup all ready to go here.
You're taking yours
I
out?
have Brenda's or Melody's soup all ready to go here.
No, well, I haven't added
Whoa,
my stuff.
Are you there, Mel? Oh, there you are.
I haven't added my chicken gravy.
Well, what do you want that for? I thought it was done.
Almost. And you know, you can eat it just like this, honestly. I'm just going to thicken it up a little bit, though.
All right, well, you go ahead. I got mine. That's right.
I know what you be doing.
What? Tell
Eating.
me. Do tell.
I know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to eat. Man, I like that bowl. Look here. Look at this. Look at the gravy now. But that's okay. You just eat yours like that. That's all right.
This looks so good.
Mark, hand me that ladle. That is not the one I want you to eat. I want you to eat the one
I
after.
thought you were making soup.
This is like a stew, and this is the
Oh.
the Leahy chicken gravy that I added at the end. Look at the richness. Ooh. Oh,
But this
yeah.
is really good.
It is good. It is.
And the olives and the olive juice, you can really, it just gives it enough.
It does.
Go ahead,
Look
put that
here.
one right here. Now, can you tell, look at the difference between a soup and a stew. And by theory, that is the only difference between soup and stew is the thickness of the broth. And you could make this thicker, or you could get any element in between.
So it doesn't matter the consistency,
And-
but this is more of your
Yeah,
stew.
that's all I wanted to show people. You know.
And what is the difference in chowder now that we're talking about soups? Chowder can be any cream
Technically
sauce.
a potato-based food.
Is it potato based?
The only thing chowder means is potato-based. But you know, we can show you fabulous recipes, but at the same time, we want to show you the real concepts of cooking and some of the technical, elements as well. So
Oh yeah, and healthy to boot.
now I know why you would like it like that instead of like this, because that is so much better.
It is, but this is good.
Yeah, and you can have it. I'll
And
have
I
this one.
That's wrong. That is wrong.
All right, you can put that right back in there if you want.
I
But
am.
anyway, what a fabulous soup.
It is. A
Who
good
would have thought with olives?
Who would have thunk? Well, it's just another one of those things. I went to a potluck one time, and they had some kind of sauce, and when I seen it, I thought, man, that would be good as a soup or a stew. So I went in and made my version of it, and that's how it came out, and it really, really turned out good. I love the taste of it.
Amazing.
Yes, it is.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Melody Prettyman kicking it up a notch once again in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. So join us back here next time if you want to see some great recipes, healthier versions of great recipes here on this program.
See you next time.
It's hot. Hot.
Hey everybody, just here at the information desk to give you another fabulous video from Dr. Michael Greger. at nutritionfacts.org. And this one is all about the plant-based Atkins diet. Harvard studies found that men and women eating low-carb diets live significantly lower lives. But what about the Eco Atkins diet, a plant-based low-carb diet? So we're going to go right to the video here and see what Dr. Greger has to say today.
This was a pretty dramatic case report, but it was just one person. Recently, researchers at Harvard decided to look at 100,000 people, low-carb diets, and all-cause and cause-specific mortality. They found that low-carb diets were associated with higher all-cause mortality, higher cardiovascular disease mortality, and higher cancer mortality. The final nail in Atkins' coffin. Men and women on low-carb diets live significantly shorter lives, more cancer deaths, more heart attacks. Sure, you may lose some weight, but the only way we may be able to enjoy it is with a skinnier casket. But wait. In 2009, some enterprising researchers came up with a plant-based low-carb diet, the so-called Eco Atkins diet. They figured that, maybe the problem with the Atkins diet wasn't that it was high-fat, high-protein, but that it was high animal fat, animal protein. So they constructed like a vegan version of the Atkins diet. Now, how is that possible? Well, lots of mock meat, seitan, soy burgers, veggie bacon, veggie cold cuts, veggie sausage, tofu, lots of nuts, avocado, etc. How did they do? Pretty good, actually. Instead of their bad cholesterol going up, like it does on a meat-based Atkins, after just 2 weeks on the plant-based low-carb diet, their LDL was down more than 20%. Now, the whole study only lasted a month, though, so you couldn't really make any generalizations, but it was intriguing enough that when the data was run at Harvard, they picked out the people eating plant-based low-carb diets to see if they suffered the same low-carb fate. That's the nice thing about doing dietary studies on 100,000 people at a time. You can find people eating just about anything. What do you think they found? This line represents the mortality rate of the typical diet. And this is what they found for people following more of an Atkins-style low-carb diet. Significantly higher risk of death. But what do you think they found for those following a plant-based low-carb diet? Did they suffer the same crazy mortality as the Atkins people? Or maybe they didn't do that bad, but still had more mortality than those eating regular diets? Or did they have the same or lower mortality? They had lower mortality. They concluded, a low-carbohydrate diet based on animal sources was associated with higher all-cause mortality in both men and women, whereas a vegetable-based low-carbohydrate diet was associated with lower all-cause and cardiovascular disease mortality rates. So it appears what matters really isn't the ratio of fat to carbs to protein, but rather the source, whether they're coming from plants or animals.
Well, there you go. Once again, the facts speak for themselves. If you want to go on an Atkins diet, make sure it is a plant-based diet with no animal products whatsoever, and which is really defeating. That wouldn't even be called an Atkins diet because an Atkins diet is based on meat. But they're just trying to get away from that bad reputation because they have a reputation of having the highest death rate of any diet out there. Well, I guess paleo is right next to it. And the bottom line is people that eat a plant-strong lifestyle live longer. It's not rocket science here. And thank God we've got a great science doctor like Michael Greger to bring us these wonderful videos. So that's the whole message for today. You be blessed, and we'll see you next time. Hello, Mark Anthony here, just to share with you some of the tools that I use here on the Whole Message cooking programs. And a lot of these have to do with cutting. There's different, of course, I got my X-Acto knife. If you ever see my watermelon sculptures, that's exactly what I use. You can just change out the blades. And let me tell you, these things come in handy for a lot of different things in the kitchen. I mean, for $5 over at the hardware store, you've got an X-Acto knife and you can just flip out the blades, and these even break off if you want. So that works really good. Well, I kind of like this. This was kind of cute, a little grater. This little baby is so solid. I mean, it's just a heavy, solid rubber bottom. Works really good to do those quick things. I'm not too hip on this. This is my old one I've had for years, and it's just getting old, but still cuts. So I do use these things all the time. Let's see. These are kind of nice to get if you can get a couple of these just to do watermelons. You got to make a quick watermelon basket. You can just, you know, and you have it done in minutes. So those work. Of course, we've got our vegetable peelers, like both types, because I use them both in lots of different ways. Every one of these is basically designed for cutting. That is the big key. And knife, this is my number one tool of any of them, is just to have a knife. And here's the bottom line. People have got to learn how to use a knife. You've got to learn how to cut things. See, in today's society, we are being completely indoctrinated into everything's convenient, everything is pre-made, everything, so I never have to use a knife. If it doesn't go in the microwave or I can't make it without cutting something, I don't want to eat it. And that's the way people are today. And if you look at kitchens, look at the kitchens, designed kitchens in new homes. Most of them don't even have a pantry that's bigger than a couple doors. They don't have area for prep. Their whole thing is designed with a freezer, a little bit of a pantry, and a refrigerator, forcing you to go to the grocery store over and over and over and over because you can't hold very much product in your kitchen. And so what do you get? You got to get all the pre-done stuff because you don't have a kitchen big enough to do what you should be doing. And so it's a big issue, but you got to learn how to cut. Cut a salad, cut. A couple other cutting tools we have. Well, scissors works great. Get a nice, this is actually a Mercer brand. I carry these, but man, they are so good. They will just, and they go and go and go, but scissors are real good to have in the kitchen. Now this is one of those mandolins basically, and you can put whatever product you want. We'll show you how to use a lot of these later, but I just want to go through quite a few. But boom, you got your little blade here, and you can even change blades on this. And then I like this too, because this is just a nice little handheld, and you can take cucumbers or zucchinis or whatever and just put it on there and just keep twisting, and you can make spaghetti and things like that. So it's just a nice little convenient. And most of these come with instructions too, and I like to keep those with the product all the time. This right here would have to be the creme de la creme, the ultimate in cutting tools. And this is from Salad Master. I don't even think you can buy these. I think the only way you can get one for free, you actually get these for free when you host a Salad Master cooking show at your home. And you'd have to invite friends and guests over, and you know, they do a sales thing trying to get people to buy Salad Master, which, you know, Salad Master is probably the best cooking pots out there on the market today. They just really are. But yeah, you get these. You can always call me, and I can get you the information if you want to host an event or something. But these are so nice, and you just put your product in here, and then these flip off, and you've got a whole bunch of different ones that you can put on here. So, and then of course, I've got a blender and a food processor. And let me tell you, that's about it. That is the extent of my cutting tools. And it doesn't take a lot. It not going to take up a lot of space in your kitchen. You can probably fit all this in one cabinet. And but to have the basics is so nice. And the number one is just a knife. I'm not into peeling. When I'm at home, I don't peel my carrots. I don't peel my potatoes. I don't do anything like that. I do that for cooking shows and stuff. But to have the basic tools, it's going to come in handy and then make your life easier at home. And, you know, turn your kitchen into an entertainment center where you have fun in the kitchen, where people are drawn to the kitchen. And if you're in the kitchen, put some music on and get the flow, get the feel going in the kitchen, and people are going to be drawn to it. Your kids are going to be drawn to it. Your spouse, you know, that's the focal point of the home, and make it active. instead of just being a place where you use the microwave. And so that's it for today. Keep watching, and we'll be back. Hey everybody, I'm here to show you the intelligent side of eating healthy. Doing my homework on the internet. I love to show you articles and different things and show you the facts, show you the myths, show you the intelligence that's out there, and then show you the ignorance that's out there as well. Because let me tell you, you cannot listen to everything that's going on that internet. I mean, it's just horrifying. The error, the lies, the deceptions, the ignorance that's out there. I'm telling you, this internet has turned into a mecca of lies and deception. And a lot of it's honest misunderstanding of people that just don't know any better. There's a lot of people that are trying to do good things, but they have not got the education and knowledge that it takes to do what they're doing. So right intentions don't always produce the right results. And I'm right here at the HuffPost Healthy Living website. They've always got some fun articles to look at. And a lot of times these places just pop up articles. They're not really reading the articles. They're not studying the articles. Now, these articles are not from HuffPost Healthy Living. They've got a lot of freelance writers that put their articles out there. And I could probably put articles up here myself, and probably should, because I feel like I know more knowledge than most of these people do when it comes to healthy living. Most of these guys don't know jack about healthy living. So we want to share this with you, though. This article right here, I love it. Vegan versus paleo, the yin and yang of healthy eating. So this should be interesting. I love it. Dr. Fred Bishi is a raw promoter of raw vegan lifestyles. And let me tell you, I like raw foods. There's a lot of people who need to eat more raw foods. Raw foods holds more nutrients. When you start cooking foods, you're losing nutrients. Not always. A lot of times, there's times when you cook something and you get more nutrients out of it, or you're transforming the molecular structure of that food to give you a different nutrient. And a lot of people don't understand that element as well. And so it's good to have a variety of raw and cooked. But I do believe the more whole raw foods, the better. And because if you're eating more salads and more fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that, but you've got to get your starches. You've got to get your starches. And one of the best ways to get that is your cooked beans, your cooked potatoes, your cooked rice. And to me, that is such a critical importance. And I know you can soak them, you can pulverize them into powders and things like that. But the easiest way to do it is just cook them. So anyway, but he's a raw vegan promoter here. And then our other friend in this head-to-head competition here is the paleo side. And let me share this with you real quick. You're going to love this. The paleo side, author of the Paleo Manifesto is John Durant. And he is an avid reader, entrepreneur, investor, and self-described professional caveman. Now, one thing about being a caveman is that would create the belief of evolution, which is the opposite of what the Bible teaches, creation. And so I don't believe in cavemen, okay? I don't believe that we were, millions of years survivors that did not get eaten by the dinosaurs. It's a conflict of interest with evolution and the biblical creation. And and cavemen just isn't quite the right word I would be using. I asked John if he really thought meat was the way to go. John clarified that the paleo diet does not mean all meat all the time. He said that to become paleo, step one is to remove wheat, corn, and soy from your diet and replace it with fruits and vegetables, fermented food, and eat all parts of the animal. Now, the first mistake here, second or third mistake, wheat, corn, and soy. He's telling you to eliminate wheat, corn, and soy. Why is he telling us to eliminate wheat, corn, and soy? I don't see an answer here. But the bottom line is you need to eat wheat, corn, and soy. I mean, soybeans is one of the #1 cancer preventers on the market. And you can eat it every day. It's that good for you. And wheat and corn, we need more starches. You do not eliminate these foods from your diet. One of the biggest problems we have in society is people eliminating foods from their diet. Oh, I don't eat wheat because I heard this, and I don't eat corn because I heard this, and I don't eat soy because I heard this, and I don't eat tomatoes because I heard those have excitotoxins. And the list goes on and on and on. People are eliminating healthy foods because of ignorance out there that they just don't know. And so you don't eliminate wheat, corn, and soy. Here, I love this. Here, let's go to this next paragraph here. His argument against eating raw is that it is not normal for humans to be vegan. Excuse me? That's your science? That's your intelligent reasoning for not eating a healthier lifestyle? His argument is that it's just not normal. I mean, there's no intelligence here. Where is the facts? You know, if you look at a healthy lifestyle, vegan, vegetarian, whatever it may be, you know, there are mountains of facts showing that the people that live the healthiest life are the people that eat a plant-strong lifestyle. And the people that are the sickest are the ones that eat the most meats and cheeses and dairy products. So he's promoting a paleo diet, which is proven to be one of the most unhealthy diets on the planet. And people are just sucked into this ignorance. And it is killing people. Let me tell you. You know, this is just a spin. This paleo diet is actually just a spin off of the Atkins diet, which is known to have the highest rates of heart disease and cancers and you know, so the list goes on and on. But this is the world we live in. Ignorance. And we need to be getting our information from intelligent people that do their homework. And I'm not talking just me, because yes, I do my homework, but I go to these other people who have really done their homework. That's who we need to go to. The Dr. McDougall, Neil Bernard, Hans Deal, the list goes on and on. Well, at least here, the two people here, which John's not even a doctor. I don't even think he's graduated from high school or college. Eliminating all processed foods, great. At least they agree on something. Cut the alcohol, great. At least they agree on something. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing in this article that has anything to do with the science, that has anything to do with the facts. You know, the Bible says, come let us reason together. And when you want to reason together, you've got to present the facts. You've got to show the proof. You know, you can't just sit there and say, well, because it's just not normal. That is not fact reasoning. We really need to do the homework and take a little more steps. And when you do, you're going to find out that plant-strong lifestyle, the lifestyle I've been living for the last 10 years, let me tell you, I was a big meat eater. I ate all the unhealthy foods, and I was one of the most unhealthy people you'd ever meet. And thankfully, God showed me a healthier way to live. And ever since then, I am so thankful I would never go back to that paleo, to that unhealthy lifestyle that I had before. You know, so do some homework. I'm pleading with you, you know, and start making changes. Take those steps. You know, one of the things that you have to have is a desire to change. If you have no desire to change, you're never going to change. But desire to change, and you have to have a willingness to learn. Don't go jumping into some diet just because it's the new fad. You know, willingness to learn. Go learn what it takes to get healthier. And when you study, you're going to find out. And there's a lot of stuff on my website. I've got proof after proof on my website. And you're going to find out that to live that healthier life, eat that plant-strong lifestyle, eat more raw foods. Amen to that. And that's it for today. But hang in there, and we'll see you next time.
Well, welcome to another segment of Mark and Melody in the Kitchen, where we are trying my recipe of tater tots.
Tater tots.
That I've never
homemade tater tots?
Homemade? I've never tried them before.
I've never had homemade tater tots.
Oh, really?
But I have leftover potatoes. I had some leftover baked and boiled. These were boiled.
Boiled?
Is that okay? And turned them into hash browns. So.
Well, this is a new recipe for me, Mark. I haven't tried it yet.
So again, you at home get to experiment with us to see how it turns out.
Exactly.
This is
Yeah,
fun.
and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it usually always does because God is so wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
He is.
When Melody mentioned this to me, I'm like, really? You want to do tater tots? I can get a bag for $1.99, you know.
Well, you could, but most
Actually,
of the time
they're
they
kind
have
of expensive.
tons of grease in them, you know, loaded with salt and oil. And my kids used to love these when they were little. They called them tater hots.
Tater tots.
Tater hots, because they were always real hot. And I think that's what they thought I was saying.
Okay, so what's your game plan? Because I see vegetables out here.
Well, I want to jazz them up a little bit because I like these kind of flavorings. So I am going to put a little onion and
A little onion. This is a double onion recipe.
and I
Brenda
can't reach that
will
one.
not
But
have any of this.
oh, Brenda won't try this. No, that's plenty.
You're just getting a little color in there.
I
That'd be
want
fun.
some color there.
Flavor too, but yeah.
And this is a little flour. And this is a gluten-free flour.
Right.
And I want to put just a little bit of flour in here to help
Every
bind.
recipe I've seen has a couple tablespoons of
Yes, flour. And here's my
eggs.
egg.
Ground flaxseed and water.
Yeah.
And usually 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed is equivalent to 1 egg. And then you just add some warm water to it, and pretty soon you got the same consistency as an egg. So you're getting a healthier option to use it either as a binding agent in this case.
Yes.
Or an
Now,
egg
Mark,
substitute.
if you'll throw in the potatoes.
You want all of it? I'm just
I
gonna go
think
for
so.
it?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go for it. Let's
I
go
got some more if you need them.
Okay. I think we're going to be good.
For the next recipe.
And I think what I'm going to have Mark do is
I'm gonna
put
grab
a
my gloves.
glove
Yeah, I was just thinking.
on his hand because they're kind of big for me, so I can't really do what I want to.
Yeah, I
with
need to
them.
get you some extra small gloves.
Yeah.
I really do.
Between my ears and my hands, that's my smallest feature. All right, I'm going to let you go for that, and I'm going to come around you
Well, and
here.
this is perfectly fine here.
I think
I mean,
it
this
looks
is
really
really-
good. I want a little bit.
Oh, you're
of,
going to spice it up a little bit?
I do.
Okay.
I want a little bit of seasoning in there. That's a
Yeah,
little.
because there's no seasoning in here. Oh, yeah, you need a lot. Use a lot.
Well, I will.
I would overspice this one. if I
You're
were
going to
you.
overspice this.
So you're using onion and garlic here.
Onion and garlic. And
It looks
salt.
so pretty.
It does look purty,
It
doesn't
really
it?
does, yeah.
We want purty. All right.
I'm trying not to mash it. I'm trying to keep it.
I see what you're doing. You're folding it in
Yeah,
nice.
it's but it is kind of getting
Does
more
it
and more
need
mashed
any
as
more
I come along.
flaxseed? Do you know? Do you
I don't
feel
think
like it
so.
has
I
the,
mean, it's
okay.
it's getting everywhere. So, and it's sticking together. So I think you're there. We just need to start making our tater tots.
Well, what
Okay,
I'd like
I'm
to
gonna go
try.
like this.
No.
Wait, no. I'm going to get a perfect tater tot here. It might take me an hour, but I'll get it
Why?
because I'm
Why?
a perfectionist.
Okay, let's do it this way.
There we go. There's our perfect tater tot right there. That'll be $3.99.
That's too big. Tater tots are about that big.
Oh, you squeezed it. My poor tater tot.
I want you to put some right in there.
I'm guessing you're not going to want to do all this because this
No,
is.
no, I'm not going to do all of it.
So we'll do one batch here at a time.
Right.
Okay.
All right. All right.
I might as well get over there as far as I can. These will be big tater tots. These are super taters. We'll call them super taters.
Super taters. Now
Yeah, I see
this,
what you're doing there.
You see what
Boom,
I'm
2
doing.
points.
Huh? You see what I'm doing here, huh?
Yeah. That's going to get your consistency of size for sure.
Mine are going to be square tots.
Square taters. I was just going to say square it up there. No, you can round it off real quick.
I
though.
think you can.
Yeah. But that's tightening it up, so that should help
I
quite a
want
bit.
to tighten it.
I got flour on me.
Yeah, when you wear black, that's the only sad thing. I'm going to roll it out, tighten it up. Think it'll be all right?
I hope so. We're going to try it. Oh, there you go. I was going to say roll it right off the paper, but...
And you need a little bit of...
Where do you want me to cut?
You know, I want just about, you know... That's that big tater hot. Oh, you don't even need this.
No. It's like sushi.
It does look like sushi, doesn't it?
Okay.
Awesome. Oh, isn't God wonderful?
Are you liking that?
I'm loving this. I'm
Okay.
not liking it, I'm loving it. Those are big tater tots. We'll call these Mel's jumbo
Taters,
tots.
Yeah.
Is that another TM?
Yeah.
Those are going to be big ones.
And these are even going to be super taters.
Yeah. So you know when you go into McDonald's,
Let's do that. Let's do a big one like
and they
this.
say you want a supersize. Well, when you come to Mark and Melody, just say supersize it.
Let's do this. Let's do another batch on another pan with them that big and see what happens. I mean, we're experimenting, right?
That's right.
I'm going to try to make them as big as I can there. So it'll be super vegetators. So anyway, because I'll have to get another pan, but they're going to go in the oven for
I'm going to put them in the oven for probably about 35, 40 minutes. And if it takes more time, I'll let you know. But every oven varies as far as the temperature.
Put it at 375, kind of crisp it up on the outside.
I think so, because you're going to cook the onions and the bell peppers, but basically you've got to get those potatoes brown.
Let's do it.
Let's try it.
We'll come back and show you the finished product. All right. Your tater tots are done. My super tater tots.
I was going to say, those are colossal.
And you've got your tater tots.
Yes, look at these.
These actually look, what I did was I put these in later, but then I spun them around. I just flipped them around to get a little more browning action on them. I think I should get these right in the middle.
I think you should.
So, and they're really turned out very well. I mean, these are fantastic. So.
And there's we didn't put any oil in these, did we? Yeah, spread them apart. Nice. That was for try number one. I mean, that's how easy. Yeah. Folks, when you go into the kitchen and you want to cook with a recipe, even if you haven't tried it before, just go for it. Oh, this is my piece. I want to try it. I love potatoes.
Tater tots. But they look like sushi.
Well, yeah. Hey, maybe we could do potato sushi. Maybe that's another segment.
Yeah, vegan sushi.
Vegan sushi roll.
Yeah. Potato sushi rolls. Wrap them with seaweed.
Seaweed. The wheels of culinary are just spinning.
Those are delicious. Those are absolutely delicious.
Really good.
I think what we need to do is eat these. Just you guys. Thank you all for tuning in, but I've got to go for another one. These are really good.
We're going to have to go for a walk.
Just goes to show you how easy it is to cook in the kitchen, especially when
good.
Especially when you got Melody helping you simplify your life in the kitchen. So there you go. Great food. We'll see you next time.
Good. That is really good.
Well, we're back and we're talking about the low-carb diets and the coronary blood. You know, I talk about low-carb diets all the time and what a horrible thing it is. And a lot of the statistical facts that I've shown you over the years that people that go on the no-carb, low-carb diets have the highest heart disease and things like this. I've shown you a lot of that. But Dr. Michael Greger has a video that he sent me, low-carb diets and coronary blood flow. And I think this will really put some things in perspective for you. So let's watch this video.
People going on low-carb diets may not see a rise in their cholesterol levels. How is that possible? Because weight loss by any means can drop our cholesterol. We could go on an all-Twinkie diet and lower our cholesterol if we were unable to eat the dozen daily Twinkies necessary to maintain our weight. That's why a good cocaine habit can lower cholesterol. Chemotherapy can drop cholesterol like a rock. Tuberculosis can work wonders on one's waistline. Anything that drops our weight can drop our cholesterol, but the goal isn't to fit into a skinnier casket. The reason we care about cardiovascular risk factors like cholesterol is because we care about cardiovascular risk, the health of our arteries. Well, Now we have studies that have measured the impact of low-carb diets on arteries directly. And a review of all the best studies done to date found that low-carb diets impair arterial function, as evidenced by a decrease in flow-mediated dilation, meaning low-carb diets effectively cripple people's arteries. And since the meta-analysis was published, another study found the same thing: dietary pattern characterized by high protein and fat with low carbohydrate associated with poorer peripheral small artery function, again measuring blood flow into people's limbs. Peripheral circulation is great, but what about circulation in the coronary arteries that feed our heart? There's only been one study ever done measuring actual blood flow to the heart muscles of people eating low-carb diets, and this is it. Dr. Richard Fleming, an accomplished nuclear cardiologist, enrolled 26 people into a comprehensive study of the effects of diet on cardiac function using the latest in nuclear imaging technology, so-called SPECT scans, enabling him to actually directly measure the blood flow within the coronary arteries. He then put them all on a healthy vegetarian diet, and a year later the scans were repeated. By that time, however, 10 of the patients had jumped ship onto the low-carb bandwagon. At first, I bet he was upset, but surely soon realized he had an unparalleled research opportunity dropped into his lap. Here he had extensive imaging on 10 people following a low-carb diet and 16 following a healthy high-carb diet. What would their hearts look like at the end of the year? We can talk about risk factors all we want, but compared to the veg group, did the coronary heart disease of the patients following the Atkins-like diets improve, worsen, or stay the same? Those sticking to the vegetarian diet showed a reversal of their heart disease as expected. Their partially clogged arteries literally got cleaned out. They had 20% less atherosclerotic plaque in their arteries at the end of the year than at the beginning. What happened to those who abandoned the treatment diet and switched over to the low-carb diet? Their condition significantly worsened. 40 to 50% more artery clogging at the end of the year. Thanks to the kind generosity of Dr. Fleming, we can actually see the changes in blood flow for ourselves. Here are some representative heart scans. The yellow, and particularly red, represent blood flow through the coronary arteries to the heart muscle. This patient went on a plant-based diet, and coronary arteries opened right up, increasing blood flow. This person, however, started out with good flow, but after a year on a low-carb diet, significantly clogged down their arterial blood flow. This is the best science to date, demonstrating the threat of low-carb diets, not just measuring risk factors, but actual blood flow in people's hearts on different diets. Of course, the reason we care about cardiac blood flow is we don't want to die, and a meta-analysis was recently published that finally went ahead and measured the ultimate endpoint, death. And low-carb diets were associated with significantly higher risk of all-cause mortality, meaning low-carbers living a significantly shorter lifespan.
Wow. Now that's some serious science there. And I'll tell you what, see, this is the problem, is people get so brainwashed. Oh, everybody's going low carb, it must be good for you. It is one of the worst possible diets you could ever be on, is to do one of these low carb, no carb diets. And the science is out there. This is just a fraction of the science that Dr. Michael Greger is presenting here today. But I mean, time and time again, Dr. McDougall has the same type of science facts about how you've got to have more carbs in your diet. 70% of your diet should be in carbs and starches. And I'm not talking potato chips. Eat the potato, not the potato chip. Eat the corn, not the corn chip. You know, do the rice and the beans, the whole natural foods, not these processed foods. And this is what we need. And we need you to understand the science that's behind what we're talking about. I mean, I don't just preach this either. I'm trying to walk the walk. And I do. I have lived a very healthy life for quite a few years, and I'm praying that I've got quite a few years left in me. I was a bad shape person. I was in horrible shape, eating the worst possible foods you could ever think of. And I fell into that little low-carb trap a little bit, but mostly my problem was just way too much food and lots of fats. I mean, just loaded up with the burgers and the bacon and all the unhealthy food like that. So But there is a formula out there for you to live a healthy life, and that is to eat more carbs, eat more whole natural foods, more fresh fruits and vegetables. It's kind of the Garden of Eden diet with a better food and better flavor. So anyway, that's our program for today. Thank you all for tuning in. You be blessed, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, Melody Prettyman here with your health tip for today. I want to talk to you about rice. All the varieties. We have the yellow jasmine here. We have the red rice. We have the wild, the black sweet, just your regular short brown rice. And one of my favorites is the brown basmati. Folks, if you're not getting enough of this wonderful grain, this whole complex carbohydrate in your diet, you're not eating enough. Remember, when you eat your rice next time, you're just one bite away from healthy living.
Hey, Mark Anthony here to show you the intelligent way to do your breading. And let me tell you, has this ever happened to you where you have clumps of breading all over your hands? Well, I'm going to show you the way to do it without the mess. And let me take these gloves off. I'm not going to need those. Actually, it's a good idea if you want to wear gloves, but I'm going to show you how to keep both hands clean and do your breading. You have to have a wet hand and a dry hand. So this is going to be my wet hand that I pick up the wet meat, or in this case, I'm using vegan chicken fried steaks. And then this is my dry hand that I'm going to actually pick up the chicken fried steak out of the flour and put it into my soy milk mixture. And then I take my wet hand to pick it up out of here and put it in the breadcrumbs. And then I take my dry hand to do the breading over here. And just like that, you've got your chicken fried steak. Once again, I'm going to take my wet hand, goes in here, my dry hand is going to pick it up, put it in there, my wet hand is going to pick it up out of my soy milk and tofu is actually what that is. And then my dry hand is going to do the breading. We're going to show you a recipe. You'll have to click on my recipe for chicken fried steaks because this is what they're going to look like when they're done. The best, this is probably my most popular recipe of any of them, is an all vegan chicken fried steak, and nobody knows the difference. So take a look, click over to the chicken fried steak recipe. This is the intelligent way to do breading, and we will see you next time in the kitchen. Just a reminder, the books are available on my website at chefmarkanthony.com. We've got my Vegan Simplicity book right here, which is available. We also have Simply Yummy, Melody Prettyman's really good cookbook. I have that available on the website. Of course, the Simply Incredible. This is a 400-page full color cookbook. And I mean, let me tell you, this baby is just gorgeous and gives you a lot of concepts about how to cook. So once you learn the concept, then you could run with a lot of different recipes. Plus, our newest addition is the Baby Steps to an Amazingly Healthier You. And this just came out this year. It's a brand new DVD, 12 parts. Look at this. This has actually 4 DVDs inside. It's a 12-part DVD and gives you a lot of really good insight about how to take baby steps to get healthy. Plus, you get a lot of good cooking segments in there too. So, Mark Anthony, we'll see you next time.
Well, I love being in the kitchen and I love to cook, but I also like to be here talking about food.
And I love to read.
I do too. Yeah, it shows. Yeah. It shows.
Mark, so what you had something you wanted to talk about?
Well, I remember one time I had a little wart that came up on my hand, okay? And women shouldn't have warts. It's ugly. And we know that warts are actually a virus in that particular area. And so I went to my little encyclopedia and I looked and it said to actually put tape on it. And I put tape on it in the morning and put tape on it in the evening. It said for garlic. Tape garlic on it. And so I cut a piece of garlic because garlic will burn the skin, you know, when you keep it on the skin like that. So I'd cut the garlic just small enough for where the wart was, and I put a Band-Aid over it or a piece of tape, And then I did that morning and evening for 3 days. And at the end of 3 days, I thought, well, that didn't work because it's still there. And 4 days later, you know, from the time I started, so it was a day after that, I looked down, it looked kind of funny. I touched it and it just came off.
Oh, wow.
It's gone. It's never come back since. So I didn't have to buy anything. I just had garlic. So if any of you children or anybody experiences any kind of warts, you can use that. Molds,
Interesting.
you can put duct
and
tape.
that kind of stuff is in that book.
It's in that book.
Yeah, we'll have to get that on the website.
Simple things like fungus, you know, nail fungus is hard to get rid of, but it takes the nail to move off, and nails grow slow. So it has all kind of remedies in there, Mark. Simple.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we do here. We want to get you the valuable information you need to live a healthier life, intelligent information.
Yes.
And we want you to share this with your friends and family and loved ones. And let me tell you something. We want you to become the inspiration. Because if you start inspiring other people to get healthy, if they see what you're doing, you can inspire your loved ones, your friends, your family, your coworkers, your children. They're going to look at you and they're going to say, hey, I can do that too. And because that's what people do with us. They're like, hey, if they can do it at their age, we can do it, you know.
Well, were you in the seminar, the one I've been helping out here with at the church, and the lady sat through the whole thing, and I could tell she was looking at me with this puzzled look on her face. And towards the end, she raised her hand and she said, I just figured out who you were. And I'm like, oh, okay. She said, you did a seminar at our church 2 years ago, I think it was, or 3 years ago. She said, I didn't recognize you.
Because you lost so much weight. Yeah,
I'd lost so much weight, she did not recognize me. And
well,
I'm thinking,
congratulations.
yes, yeah.
And look at the smile it puts on your face when you.
It does. It feels, there's nothing that tastes as good as healthy feels.
Amen. So thank you all for tuning in. We've got the website. We'll get those books on there, and after we read them, most of these we've read. And but yeah, definitely. Hey, get that back here. That's how she gets away with these things. I'm telling you.
Take him when he's
I'm
not
like, where's my
looking."
book?
Actually, I got to tell you a story real quick before we go.
You've got one of those somewhere.
He bought this, and he said he was leaving. I said, "Oh, let me read that. It's a short book." He said, "Yeah, highlight it all, and then I'll read your highlights." I can't find it.
Yeah.
So we had to buy another one. So Lord, please.
Yeah.
Just like my
here,
Easy Fast.
you can have this one because I've got my hardcover right here. So,
okay.
amen. You be blessed, and we'll see you next time in the kitchen.